to follow the lesson and then
Alright.
it's your
Okay. Mirë, përshëndetje të gjithëve, tani jemi live, this is a live lesson, and it's about the Albanian language. Unë quhem Elson, unë jam nga Shqipëria, sot do të flasim, today we'll talk about the dative case of nouns, rasën danore të emrave. Këtu kemi Tiffany, please everyone introduce yourself in your native language if you can. If not, nuk ka problem në Shqip. Tiffany?
Ok. Në frangësisht.
Ok, faleminderit.
Je suis Tiffany, j'ai 26 ans et j'apprends l'albanais parce que je suis mariée avec un Albanais. C'est une très jolie langue et j'aime beaucoup le pays. Në Shqip, maybe?
Ok, të lutem, po të lutem.
Unë quhem Tiffany, jam 26 vjeçe tani. Unë mësoj Shqip sepse jam e martuar me një shqiptar dhe më pëlqen shumë Shqipëria.
Okej, dhe përveç gjuhës shqipe, që ti e flet shumë mirë, tani dhe anglishtes dhe frëngjishtes, çfarë gjuhësh di të flasësh?
Unë di edhe të flas italisht, dhe po mësoj gjermanisht.
Okej, të pëlqen gjuha gjermane?
Po, shumë.
Edhe mua. Mirë, këtu kemi Kitin. Szia!
Sziasztok, Kitty vagyok, magyar vagyok, és most jelenleg Albániában élek Durrësben, és azért tanulok albánul, hogy jobban tudjak kommunikálni az emberekkel, meg mert tetszik a nyelv.
Köszönöm.
De Tani, në Shqip, përshëndetje, unë jam Kitty, jam hungarez, por tani banoj në Shqipëri, në Durrës, dhe mua më pëlqen gjuha shqipe dhe dua të komunikoj më të mirë me njerëz.
Okej, unë jam hungareze.
Hungareze.
Okej, shumë mirë. Anna Taylor, përshëndetje.
Përshëndetje, unë jam Anna Taylor, unë jam angleze, por tani po jetoj në Shqipëri. Ashtu që duhet të përparoj më shumë me gjuhën shqip.
Me gjuhën shqipe, okej, shumë mirë. Të lutem edhe në anglisht.
Hi, my name is Anna Taylor. I'm from England. Well, I'm English, and at the moment I'm living in Albania, so I really want to improve my Albanian.
Okay, great accent. I love British accent. Carrie.
Hi. Hello. Okay. A little sick, a little bit. My name is Carrie. I am from America. I live in Montana. Next Saturday is my birthday, so everybody put that on your calendar. And I want to learn Albanian with my best friends in Albania.
Great. You know there are 5 viewers now from YouTube. You may get some present.
Oh, I hope so.
Okay, mirë. Kemi Lenson. Ni hao, Lenson.
你好，我叫 Lansom，我来自台湾，我想学习阿尔巴尼亚语，因为我想去阿尔巴尼亚旅行。
Okay, you finished. But that was shorter than other times. 谢谢, faleminderit. We have here Chirag, please, in your native language.
You want me to speak in my native language?
If you can, please, in Hindi.
Oh, well, it's a hard thing that you might understand, but okay, well, मेरा नाम चिराग है, मैं न्यू दिल्ली इंडिया से हूँ, मैं फिलाडेल्फिया रहता हूँ, यहाँ मैं स्टूडेंट हूँ और मैं अल्बानियन इसलिए लर्न कर रहा हूँ क्योंकि मेरी गर्लफ्रेंड जो है वो अल्बानियन है. Alright, to translate it in English, hi, my name is Chirag. I'm from New Delhi, India. I live in Philadelphia. For you, whoever doesn't know, I know it's not a very big of a city, but it's not too far from New York. And I am a student here, and I'm in my last year of college, and I met my girlfriend in my college, and she's Albanian, so that's the reason I'm learning to conversate with her parents.
Okay, perfect. Thank you for joining. We have here María Isabel. Please unmute yourself. Y en español.
Okay, en español. Hola, soy María Isabel, soy de Puerto Rico y me gusta mucho Albania, por eso es que estoy estudiando albanés ahora en Albania. Përshëndetje, unë jam Maria Isabel, unë jam nga Puerto Rico, unë mësoj shqip sepse me pëlqen Shqipëria.
Okay, Shumir, faleminderit. So everyone introduce yourself. Okay, Tani, I will start with a screen share. We have some viewers from YouTube. If you'll have any questions, please, you can leave the comments there. and I will read them. I will start screen sharing for those who cannot open the document for some reason. So first of all, this lesson is related with the previous lesson 1 month ago that we did. Please watch that one first and then start with this lesson. If you haven't watched it, you can still continue with this lesson. You'll learn new words, but you'll not understand a lot of grammar. Today's lesson is about the dative case, the third case, and we'll talk about the dative case of nouns in particular, how to build nouns or what is their form, what's their suffix in the dative case. Then we'll talk about how to use the dative case and we'll do some exercises. If you'll have any questions during the lesson, if something doesn't make sense, please let me know. It's a very, very important lesson. So take your bottle of wine and get ready to learn some Albanian. Slide number 2 will review first what we talked about in the previous lesson. Only this slide will review as the most important one. I mentioned earlier, so in the previous lesson, that every single dative sentence must contain one of the dative pronouns. So in nominative, the subject pronouns are unti, aio, ne, you, atato, ayu, hishi, you, they. In accusative, they change like this: mua, me, tute, ate, nena, you, atato, i. How to use this? I've prepared the lesson for each one of them. Now, what about the dative case? In the previous lesson, I mentioned that they change like this: mua, me, tu, te, ati, I, asai, I. Neve, na, juve, you, ature, u. Why is this form? You just have to memorize it. I'm not following any rules so far. It's just how the word I, un, changes into dative to mua, me. As you can notice in dative, also in accusative, the first two forms are the same. So mua, me there, also mua, me here. Tute, tute. But the rest are different. As you can notice in both accusative and dative, there are two forms, two type of pronouns. One is called the strong form of the pronoun and the other one it's called weak. There is a note in the description box below, in the note section below in the slide. So mua, let's take the first pronoun for each one of them. For instance, in the first one, mua, that's called the strong pronoun, and in a sentence that's optional. Whereas the second form, so let's take me, for instance, it's called the weak pronoun and it's mandatory in a sentence. So every single dative construction must requires one of the weak pronouns. So one of me, te, I, na, you, or u. You cannot build the sentence in dative if you do not know the weak forms of the pronoun. The strong forms are optional. So these that I'm underlining, those are optional. But the weak ones are mandatory. Any questions so far? Anna Taylor? Lanson? Okay, let's go to the second slide. This is also the second most important thing. What construction do we follow to build a sentence in dative? What's the formula? How do we build it? So keep in mind what was a strong form and a weak form first. So let me just go back again to the previous slide. The strong form is the first one, mua, and the weak form is the second, ma. Now, in statements, the strong form may come first, then the weak form plus the verb. Why did I say may come first? Because the strong form, you can also find it after the verb. But it's optional. First of all, it's in parentheses, it's optional. You don't have to use it. If you use it, it's either there or after the verb. But very important, the weak form must be always before the verb that you're using. So weak form plus verb. It doesn't matter if it's a statement or question, weak form must always be before the verb. So, but then the strong form must be after the verb, no longer before. It's no longer like flexible in a sentence. If you want to use it, it must be after the verb, no longer before. So if you memorize, if you write this down, this formula here in statements and in questions, then you can build any sentences in dative. And dative case is very, very used. Now, new information, slide number 4. Okay, this one we mentioned also earlier. A noun in grammar, it has a form, so it can be either definite or indefinite. It has a case, it can either be one of these 5 cases. So today we'll talk about the dative one. It can have a gender, so it can be either masculine, feminine, and or neutral. and it has also a number. It can be plural or singular. Number 5, the case of nouns. We are on slide number 5 now. The first two cases we have talked about are nominative and accusative. The third case is the dative case. Keep in mind that each case has a form. So the noun in each case can be either definite or indefinite. Now let's get into the real grammar. Slide number 6. I have written a sentence there. Albani po I dërgon Mireles një letter. As I mentioned earlier, in every single dative sentence, you need a weak form. Where is the weak form there, Carrie?
Would it be no?
Don't disappoint me.
No pressure.
Let's see. Well, it would be it's not there. Oh, the weak form is E.
E, yes, E. So as I said, weak form always before the verb. Weak form always before the verb. So where is the verb here? Dërgoj, to send. Where is the weak form? This one must be the weak form E. So every sentence in dative must require a weak form. In this case, it's E, but it can be any of those that I mentioned previously. We have some viewers from YouTube. If you want to join, please go to learnalbanianonline.net. You have the link there to join. And you can download also this document in the description box below in the video. So we have the weak form E and the verb there. Now, the new information today is how do we get this noun, this version of the noun Mireles? How do we build that one? And is that feminine or masculine? And how do we build them for both genders? So that's the one I'll teach you today. Okay, dative case, if you want to use the dative case, it's typically used with two other cases that we have talked also before. So we have the subject, which is nominative case, a person who is doing the action. Then we have an object where the action falls, in this case, a letter. Alban sends a letter that's accusative. And to who is he sending a letter? To Mirela, in this case, that's the dative. So three cases together in order to build a dative sentence. Okay, now how to build a dative? Let's go to slide number 7. This is very important. I will compare the dative with the other cases that we have learned. If you don't know how to build the other cases, this one will be very important also. So indefinite have a near before, which is a or an in English. Let's take the word for liber. In this slide are masculine nouns, in the next one feminine. So indefinite is liber. Definite becomes, Tiffany?
Libri.
Libri. So we are in nominative. What is the accusative, Tiffany?
Liber.
Liber stays the same like nominative. Okay, indefinite now it changes, takes on. Tiffany?
Librin.
Librin, correct. So accusative, very typical. Definite has an N at the end. New information now. Maybe some of you know it already. The indefinite dative is the same as definite nominative. The same spelling, not usage at all, just the spelling will be the same. So libri there, nia libri. I'll give some other examples, some other nouns, but pay attention to the construction. What about the definite? In the first one, we had just E ending. In the second, we had in. In the third, we had it, librit, librit, langson nit, elson nit, etc. So that's the ending. Let's talk about another noun. For example, dial. This is a boy or son. Definite is diali. How do we build definite, etc.? That I talked about in the previous lessons. Also, here is the same as the indefinite. Here becomes dialin. What about indefinite? I said it's the same as nominative definite. So diali here again. And the last one, add the T, dialit. Okay? If you don't know how to build it, then you cannot make any sentences in the dative. So pay attention, this part here is very, very important. Okay, one more noun. Let's take the word for male friend, which is shock. What is the definite nominative? Shoku. What is the accusative? Indefinite is still shock. So near shock, a friend. Here becomes shokun. What about here? It's the same as nominative definite. So shoku. What about there? Shokut. So these are the endings. This is how we build the dative case, masculine nouns singular. Do you want more examples or you understood how it works? Please let me know if you have questions. Tiffany, Lanson, Maria Isabel.
That's good for me.
Anna Taylor. Okay. Let's go to the next slide. Let's learn how to build the feminine nouns. So let's take, for example, the noun for sister, which is motor. Kiri, what's the definite of motor?
Motra?
Motra. Correct, motra. Let's go to accusative. I said that this is the same, right? Yeah, motor again. What's the definite, Kiri?
Motran?
Motran, very well. Now, for some reason, it has to get complicated. Maybe it's feminine, it has to get complicated. I'll explain it to the next slide. Feminine nouns in Albanian, they have one of these 4 endings. One moment, I'll just fix the text a bit. Okay, so let's take the word for lule. Let's take the word for shtëpi. Shtëpi, which is house. One moment, okay. Shtëpi, which is house. Then let's take again motor, which is sister, and let's take vajz, which is girl. Now these are 3 different endings in feminine: a, e, or a. How to build the dative for feminine nouns? Not only this here, but every other feminine nouns. I just took this for as an example. It's important that all of these must have an a ending in the dative. So shtëpi, add an e, shtëpije. Motor, add an e, motre. Vajz, add an e, vajze. Lule, add another e, luleje. Once again, so lule becomes luleje, and any other nouns that end in a follow the same rule. Shtëpi and any other nouns that end in e follow the same rule. Shtëpije, shtëpije. Motor and any other noun, feminine noun that end in follows this rule. Motre, letre. Vajz and any other nouns that end in so that are feminine, follows the same rule. Vajze. This is how we build nominative indefinite. I'm not following any rule. Just keep in mind that it must take an a. Notice how all of them have an a at the end. I said, once again, go back to slide number 7. I said that for masculine, dative indefinite was the same as nominative definite, but it's not the same for feminine nouns. For feminine nouns, we have these endings, these ones that I just explained now. So let's go back to slide number 8. So motor will be motre. How we got that, etc. No rule, just try to memorize the nouns, how we change them. Motre there. Now, in nominative, they just take an a. In accusative, they take an. In dative, they take an s. Motrus. That's very typical in the dative case, the s letter at the end for the feminine nouns. Let's take another noun. Let's take vajz, which is a girl. So let's go to the definite. We said it's vajza, the girl. Which is the same vajz as the previous one at the top. Here it is vajzën. What about here? It must end in a, vajze. You just change, you just drop the umlaut, vajze. One moment. And the last one is vajzës. Vajzës. Do you have any questions beyond some more examples? Any of you? I don't remember all of your names now. Maria Isabel, Lanson, Kitty. Hello, Kitty. Questions?
No.
Okay. So we build it like that. Every other feminine noun, every single one of them must have one of these endings, must either end in a, which we change it to this one. So another example would be mësuese becomes mësueseye. Once again, please. Someone said something?
Thank you. I just want another example and you just...
Okay. So I'm writing some other examples now. For example, the first noun, those that end in e, mësuese, mësueseye. Okay, studente, studenteye. Gjyshe, gjysheye, etc. Shtëpi, shtëpije. Kuti, which is a box, becomes kutije. Let's take motor, motre, letter, which is a letter, becomes letre. How to use this, I'll explain them later today as well, of course, but let's just focus how to build the dative. Then I'll let you know all this will make sense when we talk about how to use the dative, and we'll read the examples. Gazette, for example, which is newspaper, gazete. That's how we build the dative indefinite for feminine nouns. Masculine was much easier. You just take the nominative definite and put it there. The usage, of course, is very different. And for feminine nouns, it's a bit more complicated in the indefinite forms. Okay, slide number 10. I will just stop screen sharing for a moment and I'll go. I think someone posted a question on YouTube, so I will need 1 minute, please. Meanwhile, you can comment. Anna, what do you think about dative so far?
It's difficult. Ich verstehe.
What part do you find most difficult? How to build it? I have not said anything. Okay, I've not said anything about how to use it yet. Okay, how to use it, I've not mentioned anything yet. So I'll explain it in a few moments. Just how to build it. Keep in mind how to build it.
Okay.
Okay, we have no questions from YouTube. Now I will continue with the screen share. Let's see. 1 moment. Okay, we are back. So slide number 10. Once again, the formula. So we can start with how to use it. If it's a statement, strong form either there or after the verb, it's quite flexible. But it's important that nothing comes between the weak form and the verb. Everything else that you put, it's either before, after, etc. So for statements and questions, weak form plus verb, that's a construction. What's a weak form, once again, if you didn't remember it or whatever? So on slide number 2, those that are not underlined, those are the weak forms. M, T, I, Na, U, or U. How to use the dative case. There are several usages. It's super important. Let's take the first one. I also mentioned it in the previous lesson, the verb to like. The conjugation is like this, îmi plăcea, ti plăcea, ne plăcea, ne plăcea, mi plăcea, ta plăcea. However, we don't use like un plăcea and then something. We use the indirect form. In other words, we use the dative case. If you like one thing, you use the third person singular. If you like many things, you use the third person plural. So it depends on the noun that you like. Is it one thing that you like or many? I will write some examples here. For example, let's take a person. We said asai, I, pëlqen. Let's stick with cats. Matja, she likes the cat. Now, pronouns in Albanian can replace nouns and the other way around. But which pronoun will we replace? The strong form or the weak one? We will replace the strong form. So asai, the weak form must stay always like that. It never changes. The strong form will be replaced by a noun, but a noun in the dative case, one of the forms that we learned earlier in the previous slides. So what's the dative? Let's take a name, Elon. The dative of Elon is Elonus. It's a person. Use the definite form for person. So if you want to say Elona likes cats, it would be Elonus. Elonus I pëlqen Matja. Elona likes the cat. Okay? So if you don't want to use the noun, you can stick with the pronoun asai I pëlqen Matja. She likes the cat. Elona, if you want to replace it by a noun or a name, in this case, it's Elonas. Elsonit, masculine nouns take a t. Elsonit I pëlqen Matja. Okay, so let's go back to the table. Where did I find the word for elsonit, that ending? In the masculine nouns, that table that we talked about there. It's right here, definite, dative. I use that form there. With people's names, use the definite form. With other nouns, I'll give you some other examples with other nouns, then you can use indefinite as well. In a question, did Elona like the cat? Does Elona like the cat? I pëlqen Elonas Matja. I pëlqen Elonas Matja. If it's a question, I said the strong form will be after the verb. So weak form, there. I pëlqen Elonas Matja. O I pëlqen, jo nuk I pëlqen. Another sentence. Elonas I pëlqen të udhëtoj. Elona likes traveling. In Albanian, literally, Elona likes to travel. So, të udhtoj. Again, Elonas. Why dative? First of all, because it's a verb to like, and with the verb to like, we typically use the dative case. Elonas I pëlqen të udhtoj. Altinit, which is a person's name, I pëlqen të mësoj shqip. Altin likes learning Albanian. Altinit I pëlqen të mësoj shqip. So you should identify or know which are the verbs, first of all, that require the dative case. One of the verbs is the verb to like. If you like one thing, the third person singular. If you like many, the third person plural. Another example. So we said vajz is a girl, but what's the dative of girl? Either një vajze, a girl, një vajze, or vajzës. So let's make a sentence using both of them. A girl likes a book or the girl likes a book. Grammatically, both of them are correct. Një vajze I pëlqen libri. A girl likes a book. Grammatically, it's correct, but it's not very used. Definite is used. Vajzës. Why vajzës? That's the dative case for it. Why dative? It's the verb to like. Vajzës I pëlqen libri. The girl likes the book. Another one. Nxënëses, the pupil or the student, female student in this case. Nxënëses I pëlqen të lexoj. The female student likes to read or likes reading. Nxënëses I pëlqen të lexoj. Djalit, the boy. Djalit I pëlqen të shkruaj. The boy likes writing. Why I for all of them so far? Because I'm using the third person. And the third person, the weak form is I. And in a question, now in plural, I pëlqejnë, for example, agimit macet, does agim like cats? So agimit in dative. Notice the ending. If it has a T ending, that's a dative, if it's masculine, of course. Check out djalit. Altinit, all these that I'm putting in blue, they're masculine. Again, altinit here. Elsonit, masculine, definite, dative. What about feminine? Notice they have the s ending. Vajzës, nxënëses, elonës. That's feminine. Any questions? That's the first usage of dative. Do you have any questions?
I've got a question. Nxënëses? Is in dative?
Yes, nxënëses. Nxënëses, that's a female student, pupil, nxënëses.
So you don't have like the e with umlaut in the end, just the normal e.
Yes, it's a normal e. Yes, it's a female student. It's not plural, it's not masculine, it's female. That's why it takes an e.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Okay? Mm-hmm. Mirë. Nxënëses, studentes, for example, nënës, vajzës. So it is, let me write it here, nxënëse. It ends in a, right? Just like lule. So what's the dative definite? Put an s after. Nxënëses, lules. That's the dative for both of them. One more sentence, in a question as well. I pëlqejnë anës gjuhët e huaja. I pëlqejnë anës gjuhët e huaja. Does Anna like foreign languages? Does Anna like foreign languages? I pëlqejnë anës gjuhët e huaja. Okay, any questions? I'll take it as a no. Let's go to the next slide. There is a lot to talk about the dative case. Let's go to the second verb that we use with dative. We also talked about it in the previous lesson. It's the verb to hurt. This verb doesn't have first person. So if you hurt someone, that's another verb. This verb has only third persons, either singular or plural. Now, in order for something to hurt, let's learn some vocabulary first. At the very bottom of the slide, I wrote some new words. Dora, the hand. Stomaku, the stomach. Barku, dhëmbi, qafa, kurrizi or shpina. Then in plural, këmbët, which is feet, gishtat, syt, veshkat, dhëmbët. These are in plural. Now let's build some sentences using that vocabulary there. Artanit artanit I them coca. So in English it would be like Artan has a headache, but the literal translation is Artan's head hurts, or the head hurts, Artan's head hurts. Why dative? This verb requires dative. Again, you should memorize there is a list of verbs that follow the dative case. So them is one of them. Plce is another one. If you want to use this verb, you should use the dative for them. So artanit is them coca. Another sentence. Apo is them coca zurat. Zurat is a typical name in Albania. It's a feminine noun. It ends in s. So apo is them coca. Is her head hurting? Does she have a headache? With an ing before. Apo is them coca. Kiri, apo to them coca.
Yo.
Yo? Okay.
I'm calm.
Okay, some cold. Okay, that's another case. We don't use dative there.
Okay.
Okay, another sentence. So let's take the word shoche, which means female friend. Shoche. What the dative of shoche is? Shoches. How to build it? We mentioned it in the previous slide. Shoches. If you want to say my friend's feet are hurting, or her legs feet are hurting, we say shoches sime. With a po, optional, is them bin come but. Her feet are hurting. I just put a po here, ing, you can drop it. If her feet hurt all the time or in a regular basis, you can drop it. If it's hurting right now, then with po. The new thing here is sime. We'll talk later about that one. It means my. So, shoches sime, poi them bin come but. Shoches sime, poi them bin come but. Masculine, shokut tim. My friends, shokutim po is them zombi. Zombi means tooth. So my friend's tooth is hurting. Shokutim po is them zombi. Them zombi. Good luck with that. It's like a tongue twister. Them zombi. The verb is singular because only one tooth is hurting, but the verb is plural in the person in the previous one because 2 feet, both of her legs or feet are hurting. Any questions? Okay, let's go to the next slide. So the verb to hurt. You have vocabulary at the bottom. You can build sentences using those. If you are watching live on YouTube, thank you very much for watching. If you want to join, please go to learnalbanianonline.net. You can join there. And you can download also this document in the video description on YouTube. Slide number 13, slide number 13, ky është përdorimi I tret. This is the third usage. I also mentioned it in the previous lesson. Strong form plus weak form plus the verb vjen, to come. Now, më vjen mirë, literally, it comes good to me, that means I'm glad. Më vjen keq, I'm sorry. Më vjen inat, it's like either I'm jealous about, I envy something. It depends on the context. Më vjen zor, I am shy to do something. Më vjen për të vjell, I'm about to throw up. Më vjen për duar. What about this? This is handy. So something that you can do really good. It's handy. It comes handy. I don't know how do you express that in English. Carrie?
It's like a talent. It's natural. It's easy for you.
Yes. So it's handy. I don't know how do you express it like that. I guess it's handy to me or something. It comes to me handy or something.
Okay.
Okay. Never mind. Më vjen sikur. I feel like. Më vjen sikur means I feel like doing something. I feel like something, etc. Më vjen sikur. Më vjen rrotull. This means my head is spinning round and round. Më vjen rrotull. Më vjen ndërmend. This is, oh, I remember it now. Më vjen ndërmend. Now, the thing is that I've put all these sentences in the basic form in the first person, mua, më, with no nouns. Now, instead of mua, you can use any one of the nouns. For example, let's take, let's say, the girl is glad. How do you say that, Tiffany?
Asaj I vjen mirë.
Asaj vjen mirë, correct. Now, let's replace asaj with the word girl.
Vajza, no. Vajzës.
Vajzës.
I vjen mirë.
I vien mir, perfect. So the girl is glad, weises I vien mir. She's glad about something, she heard the good news, etc. Weises is I vien mir. The definite is more used. Grammatically, it's also correct in weise. A girl is glad, but how, in what occasion do you use that? So it's not used at all. The definite is more used. Weises I vien mir. In a question, I vien mir weises, or instead of weises, any other person's name. I vien mir Tiffany's, I vien mir Kirit, Elsonit, etc. Let's go to the second one, Lenson. Elson is sorry. What's the dative of Elson?
Elsonit?
Yes, Elsonit. What's the weak
form? I vien catch.
Perfect. Elsonit, I vien catch. It has two translations. Elson is sorry about to hear that, and also Elson minds it. It's a problem for Elson. He minds it. So Elsonit, I vien catch. Elson finds it as a problem, etc. So in a question, it would be more like, do you mind? Ad vien catch? Do you mind? Okay. A I vien catch lanzonit. Does Lanson mind? I vien catch lanzonit. Does I don't know, the man, the husband, burit, dialit, any other masculine or feminine noun? Try to use the definite because that one is more used. Okay, I see that some of you left the lesson. I am sorry that you find it difficult, but it's Albanian language. It's dative case, and it's very, very used. First of all, it's very used. Okay, let's go to ma vien zor. That's like I'm shy. So Anna Taylor, how do you say the girl is shy?
Weises
Yes, Shumir.
I vien zor.
Shumir weises I vien zor. Of course, there are many other ways to say all these, many other constructions, but those don't require dative. For example, ma vien zor, I'm shy. We have many other forms to express that. Un cam turp, it's another one. So cam turp. This also means I am shy, cam turp. But a sentence that requires dative is this one, ma vien zor. Weises I vien zor. Pse I vien zor weises. Why is she shy? Pse vien zor, etc., etc. Okay, theater, më vjen për të vjell. How do we use that? I'm about to throw up. You can use the word patient, for example. The patient is about throwing up, for example. Male patient, pacientit I vjen. So ati, to him, he. Ati I vjen për të vjell. Pacientit I vjen për të vjell. Për të vjell. We don't have a verb in Albanian to throw. We actually have, but it's not very, very used. You can say if you are about throwing up, not to throw up, that we have a verb, but about throwing up, that is më vjen. It's coming to me, like I want to throw up. That's the literal translation.
Okay.
Mir, that's pretty much it. Yes, Carrie, tell me.
Okay, so if you wanted to say the female patient is gonna throw up.
Yes, go ahead. Shoot.
Pacientes.
I didn't hear it again. Paciente.
Tes with an S?
Pacientes.
Okay, and then the rest is the same.
Yes, I vjen për të vjell. Perfect. Pacientes I vjen për të vjell. Shumë mirë. Or the name of a person. Elsonit I vjen për të vjell, or any other thing.
Okay.
Okay, so that was the third usage. Once again, the first one with the verb to like, the second with the verb to hurt. Not to hurt someone, that's another verb. The third one is with the verb with this construction. Më vjen. Let's go to number 4. Very important. We mentioned those 3 verbs in the previous ones, but there is a long list of verbs, and I've written some of them here. So a verb that requires dative case is lexoj, to read, përgjigjem, to answer, ndodh, to happen, to occur, shijoj, kujtohem, to remember, shërbej, to serve, and tregoj, to tell. Now, these sentences are from the previous lesson. They are with the pronoun, strong pronoun. What we are going to do is we are going to replace those pronouns with nouns or with names. We'll see. So, babaj po I lexon një libër asaj. The father is reading her a book to her, or her a book. So let's replace the word asai with the word girl. Let's see here, Lenson.
Yeah, okay, I'll try. Babai po ilazonia riba vaizes.
Perfect, vaizes, very well. Babai po ilezon. He's doing the action ledzon with an N. Babai po ilezon liber vaizes.
Okay.
Okay, so the father is reading a book to the girl. As I said earlier, dative case is used typically with two other cases, with nominative, so someone that is doing the action, okay, with an object, such as in this case, liber, and with an indirect object, such as vaizes. Now we have not learned the plural of nouns yet. I will give here an example, but there's a lot to talk about the plural. So, neuperdigami, the plural, let's take the word shock. The plural of shock is shock with umlaut, and the dative of shock is with a ve at the end, shock ve. I will do another lesson especially just for the plural of nouns, but I'll just write an example here at the moment. Neuperdigami shock ve. We are answering the questions that the friends have, or neuperdigami telefonata ve. We are answering the phone calls, for example. So, as I said again, this is plural. This is not something I explained earlier or in the previous lessons. It's a new information. If you see a ve, it's typically dative. Ati poishion salata. Let's replace ati with Maria Isabel. Let's replace ati with the word client. So, client. What's the dative of client? Don't disappoint me.
A clienti?
Clientit. Okay, with T, male. So clientit, poishion salata. Clientit. The client is enjoying, is tasting, etc. the salad. Let's go to nuk makuitovet. I don't remember it. Now this one we cannot replace it with a noun. The first form, that's me, I. So it can be the third person, for example. Let's take who has Kitty? Sorry, I forget. Okay. Kitty, how do you say the boy doesn't remember?
Djalit nuk I
Kujtohet.
kujtohet.
Shumë. Djalit nuk I kujtohet. The boy doesn't remember. Or nuk I kujtohet djalit. Also, it's correct. So the boy doesn't remember. Another one we have here in plural, so I'll put another one. Camerieri, posher, ben, client, the waiter is serving the client. Client, persona, nears, And the last one is also plural. I'll put a ve there also. Nana po tregonje histori vajzave. Nana po tregonje histori vajzave. Just a hint or something that it will help you a lot. If you already know the plural of the noun, so the very basic form, as long as you put a ve at the end, that's all. Just put a ve in both feminine and masculine, definite and indefinite. Put a ve, that's how we build the dative case. I will talk about it later. I'll make another lesson about that one, but it's typically with ve. So both genders with ve, both forms, definite and indefinite. Any questions? Tiffany, Kitty, Anna, Maria Isabel, Lenson, Kerry? No. Slide nummer 5. Here are some other verbs. Shkruaj, to write. Këshilloj, to advise, to suggest, to recommend. Dërgoj, mësoj, flas, përgatis, besoj, përkas, to belong, and yap, to give. Some other verbs that are typically used, not always, typically used with the dative. Here we have some sentences from the previous lesson. Let's replace those with some nouns. Elsoni poi shkruani letter asaj në Shqip. Elsoni is writing a letter to her in Albanian. Let's replace the word asaj with a person's name, a girl's name, however you like. Tiffany.
Tiffany's.
Okay, so Tiffany's. Something I did not mention earlier is that nouns that end in a strong E, in a stressed E, such as Tiffany, Shqipëri, etc., not only you add the S at the end, but also an extra umlaut. It's exactly the same rule in accusative. Elsoni po I shkrua një letër Tiffany's në Shqip. The next one. One moment. Okay. I advise you, again, for the first person and the second, you cannot replace a strong form with a noun. So I advise him or her. That one you can replace it. So und këshilloj ty, that's either to, with to, or without. It's the same thing, but you cannot replace a strong form with a noun there because it's you. So let's replace it with another one with e, for example. Un I këshilloj. Let's put ati here and let's replace ati with a noun, Kiri. A name or a noun. I advise the boy. I suggest the boy to take the bus.
Okay. Boy. Not y'all, right? Because that's son.
That's also boy.
Okay. Okay. Un këshilloj Yali? No.
Yes. Djalit. Djalit. With a T, right? Dative with a T. Unë I këshilloj djalit të marr autobusin. I advise the boy to take the bus. I recommend him to take the bus. Unë I këshilloj djalit të marr autobusin. Po I dërgoj një email asaj. He or she is sending an email to her. Po I dërgoj një email koleges. The colleague, feminine with an S at the end. Po flasin atyre. Now again it's plural. Let's say djemve. Parents, the parents are talking to the boys. Prindrit po flasin djemve. Nuk I besoj ati fare. I don't believe him at all. Kitty, can you replace ati with a noun? It can be a name. I don't know, any other noun in general.
I don't know.
I don't believe. I don't know. For example, I nuk I besoj. Any idea? Okay. I don't believe to my either to my husband or to a man, to the man. Nuk I besoj burrit fare. Now the first meaning, the first thing that pops up in your mind is I don't believe my husband. If you say burrit, okay. Mirë, this means I don't belong to anyone. Nuk I përkas askuit. Now the pronoun askuit is an not a defined pronoun. Askuit, no one. So you can say I.
Well,
Hey, son, you here?
We've lost him.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Let's hear you, Elson.
are you there?
We are all alone in the lesson.
One of those difficult lessons ever.
Why? Why is he leaving us alone in this difficult lesson?
Taking us this far only to abandon us.
Yeah.
Hello, I'm back. Sorry.
Yay!
Can you all see my screen? Okay.
Yes.
Yep.
Perfect. So I don't know if you heard what I said the last part.
No, we didn't.
Okay. Did you hear the un nuk I përkas askuit part?
No.
Okay. So I said grammatically it's correct to put every single noun there, but in the dative case. Okay. If you have any noun, you can put it there. If you have any ideas what noun, I don't belong to, maybe, I don't know. Or let's drop the nuk, and you can say uni përkas, I belong to. Give me an example, a noun, uni përkas.
A club.
Again, tell me.
A club. I belong to a club, you know? Where
Okay,
you...
so indefinite. Uni përkas një klubi, ose një grupi, ose një ekipi. So this is with indefinite. Okay, I përkas një, indefinite. Or një squadre. This is a feminine noun. Një squadre, it means the same team or club. Okay, we have the second person here, so you wouldn't replace the strong form with a noun. I'm talking to you, so you wouldn't replace that with a noun. Kush të jep anglisht? Who teaches you English? Kush të jep anglisht? So you replace with a noun, the third person is very, very common, either singular or plural. The last one, the last usage is for the dative, and you made it. Slide number 16, slide number 16. We use a dative with these constructions. Now, mahahet, that means I'm hungry. Marihet, that means I just want to stay here. I just want to chill. I want to stay. Marihet. Mapihet, I want to drink. Më flihet, I want to sleep. Më duhet, I need it. And më nevojitet, again, I need it. So instead of I use the first person here, but instead of më, you can use either nouns or the strong form of the pronoun, etc. So Kiri, how do you say Elson is hungry? Elson is always hungry.
Elsoni.
Raise the weak form. What's the weak form for he?
E.
E, and then the verb. Not ma anymore. We replaced ma, the weak form, with e.
Oh, right.
Okay?
Okay.
So no longer ma. I took that as an example. Elsonit ihaet. Elson is hungry. Elsonit ipihet. Elson is thirsty, etc. Let's see.
Okay.
Maria Isabel, how do you say, for example, Elon? This is the basic form of that name. Elon is sleepy.
Elon. E. Flihet.
Flihet. Elonus. Feminine nouns take a s, masculine take a t. Feminine nouns take a s, masculine nouns take a t. Elonus.
Elonus.
Don't forget that. Okay? Okay.
I have a question. Excuse me. Can I put, for example, Elsonit at the end of the sentence? Let's say, ihahet Elsonit.
Yes, that's correct. Shumir, ihaet Elsonit. That's very correct. But if you put it at the end, you are more emphasizing the verb than the person.
Oh, okay.
Okay. If you mean that this person is hungry, then you put the person first. Just tell me.
Sorry, what does flihet mean?
Flihet, to sleep. So Elon is flihet, she's sleepy. She's sleepy, okay. She wants to sleep. Elon is flihet, that the meaning is she wants to sleep.
Got it. Okay.
Durata si duhet një telefon I ri. Durata needs a new phone. So I duhet. Okay, I have replaced asai I, so I have replaced asai with a name, but a name in feminine. Any questions?
Elson?
Dígame.
What is rihet?
Rihet, that means I just want to stay, I don't want to move, I want to stay. Më rihet. Më rihet në shtëpi, I want to stay home. Më rihet në shtëpi. That means I want to stay home. I just want to stay më rihet.
Okay.
What else? Tiffany?
No, just this kind of construction, it drives me crazy. It's not natural to me.
Only this rule or in general?
This one.
Okay, this one. It has a weird literal translation. I can try to translate it, but it would make things worse. Literally, mahat, it means to me it is eaten. Mahahet. To me it's eaten. To me it's drunk. To me it's slept. That's the literal translation. It's a very common way in Albanian to say I'm hungry, mahat. Of course, there are other ways to say I'm hungry. You can say.
I have a question.
Tell me.
Isn't nevoy to need?
That's correct. Yes. So nevoitet, I need it.
So duhet and nevoitet are the same?
So duhet, it's nevoitet, it means similar translation. I need them both. Nevoitet, it means like it's a need for me to have it.
Okay. So could you say durat?
Yes, of course. I nevoitet. Sigurisht.
Okay. Would it mean the same thing? Would it mean the same thing?
It means the same thing, yes. I nevojitet një telefon I ri ose I duhet një telefon I ri.
Okay. Thank you.
What else? De nada. You're welcome. No problem. Okay.
Can we replace duhet with just nominative with and then duhet? So, for example, do that.
Yes,
the name.
Of course, yes. So when we talked about subjunctive mood, we learned this modal verb duhet followed by the subjunctive. So duhet mësoj. I have to learn Albanian. Do të mësoj shqip. Okay. Then it's no longer dative anymore. This is nominative. But this type of construction with m or any other of the weak forms before the verb is used dative, no do had. I do had. That is, tell me.
No, sorry.
Okay, then I'm done here. So now we'll start with the exercise part, slide number 17. If you are watching from YouTube, you can pause this video now, try to solve it on your own, and post the answers in the comment section. And then let's try and solve them now. The first one, Carrie. The second, Lenson. The third is missing. Tiffany. The fourth, Maria Isabel. The sixth, the fifth, Anna Taylor. And the sixth, Kitty. So take your time. I don't remember them now in a row, which one is first, but take your time. In 1 minute, we start. If anyone is ready, we can start.
Did I have number
ready.
5? Am I
Okay,
number 5, Elson?
I don't know what is my numbers.
Okay, we'll start with who was ready.
I'm ready. I think number 1.
Tell me your name because I cannot.
Okay, sorry. Carrie is
Okay,
kind of ready.
yes.
Number 1.
Number 1, yes.
Okay, so the weak form is E. Yeah, that's it. That's the weak form. And the verb should be shokat.
The verb is not shokat. They're
Oh,
gone.
I'm sorry, that's the noun. That's the noun. Ergon is the verb. And then shokat is the dative.
Why shokat? Why ut? Why shokat? The T is correct, but not shokat. Shokut.
Shokut, that's what I meant. You know, I'm sorry, I did the American
Okay.
but yeah, shokut, yeah.
Shokut. Okay, so ai either gone letra shokuj doyav. Altini ka vetëm një shok. Altini has only one friend. He sends him letters each week. Who was ready? Next.
I am ready for the third.
Please tell me your. Okay, Tiffany.
Bernardi do të bëhet 35-10. Elsoni po I dërgon një letër Bernardit.
Bernardit is correct, Shumir. So here it's you don't have to say twice Bernardit since we mentioned it, but let's follow the grammar and so we can practice more. You can perfectly replace it with, you can perfectly drop it at all. We know it's him because of the previous sentence, or you can replace it with at he is, to him. Okay, so weak form is E, the verb is dergoi again. Lenson?
Yeah, I can do the second one. Hal vera ka ditelindient nësër. Po I ble
halës. Durat, correct. So weak form is E, the verb is blei halës, to my aunt. Halës, to the aunt. Feminine. Number 4, or who is ready for number 4, 5, 6?
Me, Maria Isabel.
Yes, go ahead.
Sueles.
Number 5, okay, yes. Sueles.
Ibelchen, vetem, tehar, embelsir.
Shumir. Embelsir, mafal, taha embelsira. Suela Sipelchen vetem ta embelsira. Suela only likes eating dessert. So Suela, why dative is the verb to like? Kitty?
Babait idem coca saher chepiver.
Yes, poor him. What's the translation?
The father has a headache each time he drinks wine.
Perfect, correct. And number 4, Anna?
Albana po iuron altinit ditlinje.
Shumir, Albana. Yes.
The week is I, the verb is uron, and it means that Albana wishes Altinit happy birthday.
Perfect, very well, that's correct, Shumir. So as you can notice, each one of these sentences has a weak form. And after that weak form, for each one of them comes the verb. So that's very standard. That's a rule. There are no exceptions there.
You notice that dative case has many usages. So for all of those, memorize those verbs. There's that list of verbs that I posted. So these ones here, slide number 14 and 15. There might be others. For all of those, choose the weak form, which person you're referring to, and then the verb, directly the verb. If you want to use a noun instead of the strong form of the pronoun, if you want to use a noun, that noun must be in the dative case, of course. Tiffany, questions?
Yes. When will you do a lesson on plural? Because I can't really.
Plural. That's a good question. Now let's see. The next lesson will be again about pronouns. There is still to talk about pronouns. Then we'll talk about adjectives in dative. Then it will be about after 4 or 5 lessons. Sorry.
Okay, no problem.
The plural is quite complicated. There are many irregular forms in the plural, but just with more practice about it. Let's see. María Isabel, ¿tienes algunas preguntas?
No.
Are you sure?
Bueno, sí, pero déjame buscar el donde lo escribí, no te vayas.
Okay, what is the dative of the word girl?
Vices.
Yes, that's a good one. What's the dative of the word ștepie?
Ștepie?
No? Yes, that's a good one. Yes, that's indefinite. What about definite?
Ștepie.
Ștepis.
Ștepie.
Okay, ștepis with a s at the end. Anna, what's the dative of the word dial?
Dialit.
Dialit, Shumir. So try to use more the definite form. The same for Maria Isabel, because that's the most used form. What about the word chen, dog, chen? Anna?
Chenit.
Chenit, correct. Matze, cat? Matze, dative of matze. Anna? It's feminine, matze.
Matsies.
Matzes. 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 Studentes. Matzes. Weises. Feminine nouns take the s at the end. It's Carrie's turn.
Okay.
The dative of computer.
Computerit.
Computerit, correct. The dative of shock.
I guess one.
Dative of shock.
Shokut.
Shokut, yes. Dative of shibri.
Shibri.
Okay, Shibria indefinite, but since it's a country, the definite is more used.
Shibri.
Shiperis.
Shiperisa.
Feminine nouns take a s, masculine take a t. Focus on the definite form. Indefinite is rarely used, as I said. Okay? Kitty, durus.
Durasit.
Durusit, Shumir. Telefon.
Telefonit.
Telefonit. Hungary.
Hungaris.
Hungaris, correct, with an umlaut at the end, but you don't pronounce it. What about Budapest?
Budapestit.
Shumir, Budapest. Aeroport?
Aeroportit.
Aeroportit, correct. Lenson, kin.
Kinit.
Yo?
No, sorry. Kinnes.
Kinnes, Shumir.
Kinnes.
Theater, Taiwan.
Taiwanit.
Taiwanit, Shumir. Theater, fletore, notebook.
Fretoretit.
Fletore, matse, măsuete.
Fretores.
Fletores, Shumir. Fletores. Măsim, lesson.
Măsimit.
Măsimit. Tiffany, uștrim.
Uștrimit.
Ver.
Veres.
Scurt.
Scurtit.
Coric.
Coricut.
Shumir, correct. Okay, any other questions? This was the lesson that I had prepared for you today. The next lesson will be on the first Sunday of March. That will be also 3rd of March. Okay, any other questions for me?
I just have a question, quick question.
Tell me. Yes.
Somebody told me that I should say, if I'm talking about something that's near to my house,
okay.
For example, if I say...
After?
But I was told to say, for example, parking është afër shtëpisë sime.
Yes, that's a good one. Now,
why?
Yes.
Why?
Yes. Now, there are some adverbs of place, of location, such as near, far, in front of, behind, close, left, right. All those are
about another case, which is called ablative case. So why it's shtepis there? Because ablative and dative have the same, are built the same, but they are used differently.
Okay.
So in that sentence, parkingu është afër shtëpis sime, shtëpis is not dative there. It's ablative.
Ah.
Why ablative? Because of the word near. So if you see near, far, close, left, right, those follow the ablative case. Despite the fact they are built the same, but the usage is different.
Okay.
Welcome to Albanian grammar. I'm sorry to
Hello there. It's good. It's clear as mud.
Okay, other questions? Okay, this was today's lesson. Thank you very much for joining. I'll talk to you in the next one. Greetings from Albania. Miru pafshim.
Miru pafshim.
Miru pafshim.